John Bonham and Jimmy Page and Robert Plant and
Paul Jones.
Paul Jones, yes, Terry over there shouting. Of course, you know who these guys are, but you know that's from their third album, and a couple of tracks don't get played. But I've got a lot of people logged on for the Outskirts with questions about when they're playing, and thanks for your reaction. I'm sure these guys can cope with most of the questions that have come through.
Saturday.
What?
Saturday.
We're playing Saturday at the Classic Rock Club in Cheshunt, Hertfordshire.
Yep.
It's free. It's a free gig.
A free gig?
Yeah, free gig.
Yeah.
Like Ivy Park.
Yeah, that's but smaller.
A bit smaller.
Yeah. And indoors. So we're doing that, and we've got Martin James as support from a band called Mouth of Grass, and we have Paul Simmons, who is the other guitarist in the Bevis Front, and Eliza Stilton also doing support for us too. And at some point during the evening, John Sims from Clear Blue Sky is going to come up and play with us.
Right.
So yeah, you know, if anyone's around, come along.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're going to mention the gig details later on in the show, but also they can log on to your MySpace site.
Yeah, we've got a MySpace site, the Outskirts of Infinity, and you can. MySpace.com/Outskirts of Infinity.
Oh, the Outskirts of Infinity.
No,
The Outskirts.
Yeah.
There's also quite a few videos on YouTube.
Right, and also if you scroll down the page, you'll also see the notes I posted up this evening, which actually gives the details of the MySpace.
And I posted some notes earlier.
Yes, you did, Claire.
They just said, tell them not to come.
Claire's over there with this mini cam thing, actually filming something for YouTube. Let's see. Well, Kate, I hope that answers your question for now, but we'll give the gig dates later on. And also the website details, the MySpace site, you've just had details of there, but we'll repeat that later on. Ella says, what new bands come on? Well, Ella, various, you know, bands from a whole range of like new, reformed, reconstituted, working, gigging bands from right across the spectrum of like rock and quality pop. Frida Tully from Leeds logged on. She says, I read about them on Google. Okay, so they're here in the studio right now. Hi, Frida! Hello! Rita, you were great in ABBA. Kevin Boyd says, when's your next gig? He's a proggy fan, right? And he likes the band I'm interviewing. Yeah, actually, Kevin Boyd from Camden Town says, where are you from? I mean, so basically,
the Outskirts of Infinity.
Terry is of no fixed abode. Well, he's lived a lot of places.
Yeah,
I've been around. He's in London.
He's born under a wandering star.
You're from up sort of.
I'm from Nottingham.
We're from
Nottingham way.
Madeline comes from that part of the world.
Rick and I are from Harrow.
Harrow on the
Harrow.
We're
kind of under the hill.
Right, so you're basically like more London based. Okay.
Yeah.
Alice says, hiya. Oh, maybe interesting. I don't know. It's sort of like maybe someone looks like Alice Cooper. Maybe not. I don't know. Eddie says, is that Jimmy Page in the hairdo? Ha ha.
Where?
Is that me?
No, I mean put the shades on, Barry. I mean I think it's sort of like
Come on, Barry.
Have you got a hat?
Gene Simmons! Because I live in Bruges.
With sunglasses.
Without the tongue.
Hush. Right, Jean says she loves the Beatles. Okay, Jean, I'm glad you enjoyed that track. I'll be playing a lot more alternative Beatles in future shows. Sorella likes Led Zeppelin No Quarter. Haven't got time tonight, Sorella. I'd love another hour or two, but I can't do it. And Benny from London says ramble on. But if you log on later on in next month, May, I've got some shows lined up. So I do log all these requests and dedications, so I will play those tracks. But I'll try and play you versions of those tracks you don't know. Okay, right, now, and Sarah Wilson, I like Misty Mountain Hop. Oh my gosh, well, there you go. Folk Zeppelin. I hope you like Friends and Celebration Day. So there isn't time to play some of those Zeppelin tracks, but I'll try and feature them in future shows. Right, I'm going to sort of like, let's see, the next 25 minutes or so. Yeah, the Zeppelin stuff, I mean, there was a recent interview which I read in Mojo magazine where Elvis Costello, coming from like a different sort of like alternative area of rock, but he made the comment that MP3 downloading these days was, I forget his exact quote, somewhere he was saying like it effectively deconstructs or devalues the concept of the album. Discuss. What do you think?
I think some albums, the way they're put together, you can actually do that, and I don't think it does fragment, and there's other albums that it definitely does.
I think it would do so with Sgt. Pepper myself, yeah.
Things like that.
Maybe, yeah. You know, I think it also depends, like, you know, how old you are, and how long ago you listened to the album in the first place, you know, because you listen to things in a different way as the years go by, you know? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
maybe years ago you'd sit down and listen to the whole album in one hit.
Well, that's the best way of
to
doing it, isn't it?
But then
That's what we used to
sometimes
do.
you just pick tracks off things, don't
That's
you?
what I still
So,
do.
you know,
Yeah.
it's just different ways, different times.
I think it depends on sort of what you're used to, but I mean, I think the first two Zeppelin albums for me, because the tracks run into each other, I think it'd be a bit crime to sort of sample those tracks, or download those individual tracks, where Black Mountain Side goes into Communication Breakdown. I don't think you can do that. That to me, I mean, you know, that has to be downloaded as a pair, like Friends and Celebration Day are a segue.
Well, I do think it's a lot to do with, you know, your age probably as well, because I know what you mean about those two tracks in particular.
You couldn't separate them.
You know, but
They're thrown between
but then different people, different ages, look
Yeah.
at things in different ways.
It's debatable. It's debatable. Elvis Costello obviously didn't think that was a good idea, but that's an interesting point. Maybe bands can actually do tracks that are available as singles and other tracks they've got to download as albums. I don't know. Discuss. Interesting point. Okay, I'm going to move on to another track right now before I get a couple more requests and dedications in. This is another track by The Pockets, an unsigned trio, reinventing psychedelia for the 21st century. And if you scroll down, their MySpace is myspace.com/thepocketsrock, and it's posted on the reaction page. And they're playing a gig at